This is an overview of product segmentation on Dynamic 3i. In previous releases of the application, the maximum number of characters allowed in a product code was 16 characters. We've expanded upon this in Dynamic 3i 3.2, and we've expanded this to 25 characters. We also have introduced product segmentation. Product segmentation allows you to split your product code into sections, and each section would have its own meaning. So in our demonstration system here, we've set up a company that sells paper products to consumers, and we've created a 3-segment product code. When you're initially setting up the system, you would decide at that point how many segments you wish to have that will make up your product code. In this situation here, we've set up segment number 1 as the style of the paper in our paper industry. Segment 2 is the packaging, and 3 is the size. You could have more segments. Perhaps segment number 4 may be the color, segment number 5 would be the weight, whatever you wish to have for your segmentation set, and that would be geared to your particular industry. Once you have your segments defined, your product code is strung together with these segments. It's delimited by a period, and this would make up your product string. Anywhere within the application where you're prompted for the product code, whether you're entering a new product or you're entering the product in, for example, in your order entry screen or your receiving screen, whatever, you'll be prompted for the product by the various segments. And this is the style of the prompt that would come up. You'd be prompted for the style, the packaging type, and the size in our environment here. And momentarily we'll go through that, and we'll see a few examples and why it's advantageous to use product segmentation. Once you've decided upon the number of segments that you're going to be using, then you're going to be setting up the various values that are valid for each individual segment. Wherever in the application you're prompted for your product, you're going to have to use segments that have been set up in our product segment values screen. These are the valid segments, and for our demonstration purposes here, we have a few values set up for the various segments. For example, here our style is various types of papers that are defined here. We have different packaging sizes here, packaging types. In a live environment, you'd have many more valid segment values for the various segments. Now we'll go into the product code maintenance, and we'll quickly just set up a product code and to show you exactly how you set up a product with segmentation. First of all, you enter your segment number 1, which we happen to call style. We can do a list of values at this point and bring up the various segments here and select from this list of values. If we didn't happen to know the segment code, we can select from the list of values here and come down to our packaging. If in this case I happen to know it's B50 is the packaging size that I want, but again I could have done a list of values. And our size, we can select a size here and click on OK. Now what happens now is the system actually strings together the various segment descriptions and gives you your product description. Now you can override this if you want or edit it in any manner whatsoever. It's just a way of the description defaulting for you. And we can save this record, and now we have a new product code set up. So here we have the product code now, delimited into its various segments with a period. I think you'll find that it makes the product code much more understandable whether you're looking at it on the screen or on a report. By having it delimited by these segments, you can narrow in on individual segments. If you were, for example, going through a report and you wanted to focus in on a certain segment, for example, our packaging size in our example here, it stands out more rather than having a long string of numbers where you have to decipher which each string means by certain position. Here it positions it for you with our delimiters. Also for ease of entry, if you have a long product code, rather than having to put in a long string of numbers and then finding out that that particular string of numbers is not a valid number, by having the system prompt you for each individual segments, you're going to be forced to enter in as you go along valid segment values. We have product code set up. We're going to go into our receipt entry program and enter in a receipt here. So as you can see, we're prompted for our style. We're going to take our product style to A2500, packaging size B50. Now perhaps at this point we don't happen to know the code for the size of paper that we wish to use. We can do a list of values at this point, bring up our list of values and select a valid segment. We're not seeing the entire segment 3 list of values at this point, because what the system does is it displays the particular product's segments where we've already set up this product in our product code maintenance. You're not going to see a whole list of segments that are not applicable to this particular style and packaging size. And from here we can then select our list of values and we have our product code up on the screen. So it's a great way of narrowing in on a particular segment when you're entering data into the system. You don't really need to go to any on paper sources anymore, or perhaps company manuals. Everything is online for you now. So if we go back again to our product code and we go to our list of values, if we had a longer list of values here and we wanted to narrow it down by a particular description or something, we could do so at this point. So it's a great way of narrowing down also on various segments. Allows for a lot of flexibility. So that pretty well summarizes the use of product segmentation in Dynamic 3i.